If you continue down a sedentary lifestyle for the next 10, 20, 40, 60 years, what do you think is going to happen? Just a little something to take the edge off, she says as she picks up her juice box. Hello, welcome to the I'm Bringing Healthy Back podcast. My name is Rachel. Thank you for being here today. So a couple weeks ago, after work, Monday, I told myself I'm going to do a workout. 20 minutes, that's it. And I really didn't want to do the workout. I did the workout and I did not feel any better after the workout. I was just kind of in a lousy mood. And I know you aren't always going to want to work out, but I believed the lie that you will feel better after you work out. And I'm here to tell you that's not always true. However, even though I had believed that, that wasn't enough motivation. It's never been enough motivation to keep me going to the gym or keep me consistently working out or wanting to work out, knowing that. So the question might be to you, then why do it? And for me, it's because I want to be healthy. I want to be well. And even though I don't want to do it, I know it's good for me. And I think that's something that when we become adults, we kind of, outside of work or outside of certain responsibilities, we kind of take the stance, well, if I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. And that's true, but that's not always, doesn't mean it's beneficial to just not do what you don't want to do. And some people may think, well, I don't need to work out because I'm not an athlete or I'm not overweight. And that's another fallacy. It's another mindset of we only work out because we need to lose weight or we need to stay fit. And so if we don't need to do either of those, then why do we need to work out? And some people enjoy working out for the aesthetic or kind of a stress relief. And then there are people who are like, well, I have other ways of doing that. Or they like their aesthetic. They're like, I don't need to exercise because I'm good with where I'm at. And that's more flawed logic because most of us, I say most of us because many of us in developed countries sit at work for 8 hours. Maybe we stand. Most of the time we're sitting. And then we come home, we do what we need to do, and then we sit before bed. And we live such sedentary lives, and that's become normal. But normal doesn't always mean good. Normal just means common. And it made me think of the movie WALL-E. Have you ever seen the movie WALL-E? The earth has become so dirty and it has literally lost life. There's no sign of life. There's no green. There's no nature. And so everyone is up in a spaceship with everything they could need. But because they have everything they need, they have no reason to exercise. They get fat and they get weak because they don't even need to walk anymore. And so what do you think happens when we are sitting for 8+ hours a day? You factor in your commute, your work, your evening relaxation, sitting. If you are not moving on a regular basis, some level of exercise, slowly but surely we will lose strength and we will lose muscle if there's nothing to activate and keep strong those muscles. Even if you are lean or thin, even if you are strong, even if you are allegedly healthy right now, if you continue down a sedentary lifestyle for the next 10, 20, 40, 60 years, what do you think is going to happen? Don't take your health and your mobility for granted. And it's so easy to do when there's nothing wrong or there's seemingly nothing wrong. However, if we don't create the habits and the lifestyle now, we are already going to be behind by the time we realize, I need to do something about this. And now, if you're at a point where you're like, I need to do something about this, it's not too late. You can still turn your lifestyle around. You may be someone who says, I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm fine. But like I said, you're always going to be busy. And maybe you're tired because you're not exercising. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But sometimes we have to do things we don't want to for our own good and for the good of those around us and for the good of those who we have influence over. You don't have to accept the pain and the discomfort and the sluggishness that could be influenced by your lifestyle. And we are by nature slothful. We prefer to, no, there are some people who are go, go, go. That's a different type of people. I am not those people. And so there's a good chance I might not be talking to those people right now. Our tendency is to sit. Our tendency is to rest because that is just, unfortunately, that's part of our nature. And it's also part of our society, even though it's like hustle culture and very busy. When we're not making ourselves busy, we just kind of want to sit and relax. And sitting and relaxing and resting is good. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's good. But what are you doing when you're busy? Are you just sitting at a computer being busy? Are you sitting in a car being busy? Are you sitting? And maybe you don't like working out. And this comes back to, that's fine, but that's not a good enough reason to not be active. Before this day and age, people didn't go to the gym because they didn't need to. They had to work for their food. The physical labor was part of the everyday. And now we are blessed beyond measure with how easy it is to access what we need without having to work for it. Without having to do the actual work. We don't have to raise livestock, and we don't have to grow our own food. We can, and some people do, but many people don't. I go to the grocery store. Maybe I don't even go in the grocery store and walk around the aisles. I do a grocery pickup. But our tendency is not to be active in our spare time. And like I said, you may not want to. And I think if that's the case, even with me, I didn't want to work out. I made myself work out. I didn't feel any better after, but I did it because I wanted to reinforce that habit, that routine, that discipline, because it's important to me, and I know I feel better when I exercise. And so find something that you enjoy. Go for a walk. If you don't walk right now, walking is great. Anything is better than being completely sedentary. Walk, rollerblade, run, bike, swim, yoga, Pilates, jazzercise, Zumba, weightlifting. Find something that works for you. It doesn't have to be 2 hours of your day. It can be 10 minutes, it can be 20 minutes. Do more than nothing. Your mind will feel better. Your body will feel better. You will be better for it. I am a big advocate of resistance training, aka weightlifting. I believe that it has a lot of benefits for your mind, for your body, your bones, your muscles, all the things. I am no expert, okay, but I don't think it takes an expert to tell you. And I believe you know deep down that including exercise as part of your lifestyle is good. Now, you need to find the discipline to do it. So, you are the problem. I am the problem because I have not quite reached that level of discipline where I am working out 6 days a week. Might not even be doing 3 days a week. I take the dog for a walk every day, which I think is great. Sometimes it doesn't feel like exercise, but I know it's better than nothing. So how do we work exercise into our lives? And that comes down to discipline. It comes down to having a reason why. You want to feel good, sleep good, look good. You want to be mentally in a good place. You want to be better for other people. Your longevity. You want to be mobile when you are 80, 90 years old. Because remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's what happens with your muscles. And weightlifting, you can look it up. Weightlifting is good for maintaining bone density, which is great for men and women. Schedule it into your day, into your week. Set aside, this day I'll do it in the morning, this day I'll do it in the evening. On the weekends, I can do it in the early afternoon. And then be consistent and be able to be flexible. You have something going on the weekends in the afternoon. Okay, I'll do it in the morning, I'll do it in the evening. You have to be to work early one day. Okay, I will work out in the evening. You have kids, do it before or after they wake up. I don't have kids, but here's the thing. There is an excuse for every situation for every person. Are you going to let your excuses determine the rest of your life? Because there will always be something. Always be something. And like I said, you don't have to be working out 7 days a week, but can you start with 1, 2, 3. Play around with what works for you, for your schedule. Play around with what exercise you like to do. If you pray pray to the Lord and ask Him for the strength, for the discipline, for the wisdom, for the guidance, for the nudging, for direction, maybe for a workout buddy. And then if you fall off of your schedule, you're like, oh my gosh, it's been so long. I haven't worked out in a month. I haven't worked out in 6 months. The answer is to just start again. Just start again. It's not complicated. Just start again. And then remember, this is a lifelong journey. This is not, I'm going to work out until I lose the weight. It's not, I'm going to work out until I get jacked. It's not, I'm going to work out through this until I become a parent. It's not, I'm going to work out when I retire. Is it important to you or not? And this may be something that you struggle with for the next years, decades of your life, but it's important. Let me know down in the comments what you struggle with right now when it comes to exercising, your exercise routine. And then don't overthink it. Just start. Just do something. Just do 10 minutes. Just do something tonight before you go to bed. Just start. And then it doesn't have to be perfect, but start somewhere. Try new things because you will be better for it. And like I said, the people who are in your sphere of influence will benefit from it too, because I don't know if you've ever worked out before, but I feel like I'm a happier person in general when exercise is part of my routine to some degree. You won't always feel better after your workout, but most times you will. Sometimes you won't, most times you will. And so this is when it comes down to the discipline and remembering your why. Hope you guys found this episode encouraging. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, be sure to follow or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode.